What's up, everyone? Welcome to Power Play with CJ. Today, I want to focus in on rumors that Mike Richards could be out of Los Angeles at the end of the season. He's went from the second line to the fourth line center spot for I think their next game. I'm just looking it up right now, and it's not looking too good. Let's be honest with Richards. He's one of my favorite players in the NHL. No one plays the game harder, and is just a more effective player to play against. But his time in Los Angeles hasn't been that effective offensively. I know they won the Cup his first year there, and he's a big part of that. But you need more out of Mike Richards. They're playing tomorrow at home against the Panthers, so that's an opportunity for a hat trick possibly, given the way Luongo's played it in LA in the past. But let's call it what it is with Richards. He's got 39 points in 70 games. He had 32 points in 48 games last season and 44 points in 72 games his first year in LA. Playoff numbers aren't bad. Come up clutch a few times in the playoffs, and he's a great player. He does more than just score, but for the amount of money he's getting paid, you need more out of him offensively, plain and simple. And could he be traded at the end of the season? I think is a realistic possibility. The next thing is, could he be bought out? I think that's a possibility as well. If they were to trade him, LA would need to eat some of the contract. Where does he end up? Possibly would Philly take him back? I think that ship has sailed. But I think going back home to the Toronto Maple Leafs is a possibility. I think he'd be a great fit up there in Toronto. They've always really... is Richards the number one center is the next question. He's 29 years old. He's really not over the hill by any means. But that contract, I think it's like $5.5 million a season. That's a lot for a guy that's averaging 40 points per 82 games played. Some on those lines in LA. And, LA needs cap room. If they dump Richards, could they possibly then swap his buddy Jeff Carter back to the center and then go out and get like Thomas Vanek or someone? I think that's a possibility. Maybe Matt Molson. I think LA is smart that they can, get maximum value from him. Look what Philly got back for him. Simmons, Shen, and then look at the Carter trade on top of that. So that's not too bad. That's actually really good. Two very effective young players for a guy that kind of earned his way out of town with the Dry Island fiasco. But, I hope they don't trade him. I really love Mike Richards as a player. But you got to be realistic here. And I think a trade or an amnesty is possible. If he doesn't step his game up going forward. LA's struggled to score since he's been there as well. I'm not blaming Mike Richards by any means. I think it's playing on part of the system. Part of it's bad luck, to be completely honest with you. And their shooting percentage is abysmal at times. They go through lengthy scoring slumps, but when they're hot, they're hot. And when they're hot, they're one of the best teams in hockey consistently. This is a team that won the Stanley Cup 2 years ago, and I think has a shot to win it this year. But Mike Richards got to step his game up. And if he does that, LA can definitely make some noise in the playoffs and, maybe, like I said, win that second cup. And if not, he could be on his way out of town come, June, July. I think it'd be funny if they traded him back to Philly, had the draft in Philly. But again, I think that chip sailed. I think probably Toronto. I don't think he's comfortable in Los Angeles. I don't think the market's what he wants. I think he wants a more hockey-centric environment. I don't think he really fits the California laid-back mold. And that's not a knock on him by any means. I'm just saying it's what it appears from watching that NHL 36 thing about a year and a half ago. But again, I think he's a guy that'll be happy winning in any market. So, we'll see what happens with that going forward. But I hope he stays in LA. But then again, LA got to do what's best for the franchise and to keep a winning product on the ice, because that front office has worked hard to put a winning team together, and you got to do what's best for the team going forward. Anyway, that's on this episode of the Power Play with CJ on Mike Richards possibly saying goodbye to Hollywood. Stay tuned for more episodes throughout the season and beyond. Later, guys.